Hello students, welcome to BioSmart Academy. In today's lecture, we were going to discuss about the carbohydrate molecule. Okay, this is the second lecture of biochemistry. In our first lecture, we basically discuss about the non-covalent forces, that is biomolecules and their interaction. Please watch that video, very important from examination point of view. Okay, now this is the second lecture on biochemistry, that is carbohydrate molecule. Remember, this will be the part 1 of the carbohydrate molecule lecture. Okay, there I don't know that how many lectures will need to complete the whole carbohydrate molecule study. Okay, so this will be the part 1 of the lecture of the carbohydrate molecule. Okay, so let's start today's topic, that is part 1 of the carbohydrate molecule. Okay, so in this lecture we mainly deal with basic thing, that what are basically carbohydrate molecule, okay, what are monosaccharide, what are oligosaccharide, that is disaccharide, oligosaccharide, polysaccharide. All these basics things, all these basic concepts we clear in this lecture. That is the part 1, in the part 1 of the lecture of the carbohydrate molecule. Okay, then in the upcoming lectures on carbohydrate molecule we will discuss the things further. Okay, so first of all, we should know that what is carbohydrate. What is carbohydrate? Okay, what is carbohydrate molecule? So basically, carbohydrates are nothing but it is a polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone. Okay, it is basically a polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone or polyhydroxyketone. So basically carbohydrates are polyhydroxyaldehydes or polyhydroxyketone or compounds, or there are some compound that can hydrolyze to them. Okay, so this is basically carbohydrate, that is the polyhydroxyaldehyde and polyhydroxyketone. In majority of the carbohydrate, remember, hydrogen and oxygen, okay, remember, hydrogen and oxygen are present in the same ratio as in water. Okay, that's why carbohydrate are basically called hydrates of carbon. Okay, hydrates of carbon, for as you can see, that is carbohydrate. So what is carbohydrate? That is carbon. Carbo means carbon, as you all know that, and hydrate means what? Hydrate means water, H2O. So it is known as hydrates of carbon. Why it is known as hydrates of carbon? Because in this hydrogen and oxygen molecule are present in the same ratio as present in the water. That's why carbohydrates are known as hydrates of carbon. Clear? And these are basically polyhydroxyaldehyde and polyhydroxyketone. That is the compound which basically formed either from aldehyde group, that is CHO, or from ketone group, that is C double bond O. So basically these are polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone compound, and they are basically also known as hydrates of carbon, because in this, what hydrogen and oxygen are present in the same ratio as in the water. So this is the basic concept of carbohydrate. I hope that you get a clear idea about the basic concept of carbohydrate, or about the basic definition of carbohydrate. Now, another important thing is that carbohydrate is the most abundant biomolecule on earth. Okay, most abundant biomolecule on earth. Remember, this point is important from examination point of view. Most abundant biomolecule that is present on earth is carbohydrate. Okay, so this is the basic concept of carbohydrate. So let's look at the PPT. See, carbohydrate are basically hydrated carbon atom. Why? Because hydrogen and oxygen are present in the same ratio. Okay, now these are polyhydroxyaldehyde or polyhydroxyketone, that is aldehyde group, that is CHO functional group and ketone group are basically present in the carbohydrate molecule. Okay, so this is a proper definition of carbohydrate. Now, carbohydrate can be classified into three types. Okay, first is monosaccharide, second is disaccharide, and third you can say oligosaccharide, and the last one is polysaccharide. Okay, polysaccharide. So basically carbohydrates are monosaccharide, disaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. Here the word saccharide basically means sugar. So the word saccharide means sugar. Mono means single sugar. That is monosaccharide. Di means which is made up of two sugar molecule, that is disaccharide. Oligo means which is made up of 2 to 10 sugar residue, that is oligosaccharide. 2 to 10 sugar residue, that is known as oligosaccharide. And polysaccharide means more than 10, it may be up to 100 or even more, that is polysaccharide. Okay, that is more than 10 up to 100 or even more, that is polysaccharide. So this is a basic classification of carbohydrate molecule. Okay, I hope that you get a clear idea. If you have any doubt, then you may ask me question on comment box. So let's read about the major classes of carbohydrate. So basically monosaccharide, oligosaccharide and polysaccharide. Okay, here saccharide means sugar, monosaccharide means simple sugar, that is consists of simple polyhydroxyaldehyde or ketone unit. The most abundant monosaccharide in nature is D-glucose. The most abundant monosaccharide in nature is D-glucose. Okay, why D-glucose? Why the D is present? I will explain you in my later lectures. Okay, and monosaccharide of 4 or more carbon can form cyclic structure. Okay, so let's look at the structure of monosaccharide, that is D-glucose. Okay, so D-glucose. So in case of glucose, it is basically aldehyde group present, that is CHO group is present. Okay, that is CHO group is present, that is aldehyde group. Okay, that is aldehyde group is present now. So CHOH, OH, very simple structure. Just look at this structure. CH2OH. Okay, that is HOH and HOH. So this is the structure of D-glucose. Okay, so this is basically simple monosaccharide. Okay, this is simple monosaccharide. Okay, now another structure you can say of simple monosaccharide, fructose. Okay, so in case of fructose, as I already told you that keto group is present. Okay, so the structure of fructose is CH2OH. Okay, C double bond O, that is keto group here is present, and COH, H simple structure, H, C, HOH, CHOH and CH2OH. So this is the structure of fructose. Okay, so in fructose, as you can see that keto group is present. So this is the structure of D-fructose. So this is the structure of monosaccharide. Monosaccharide. And I already told you that the monosaccharide basically which have 4 or more carbon can tend to form cyclic structures. It means it consists of more than 4 carbon. If we look at the structure of glucose or fructose, it means they can easily form the cyclic structure. Okay, now if I draw the cyclic structure side by side with this form of structure, okay, then you can get the idea about the cyclic structure. First look at the simple structure, that is CHO. Okay, that is the aldehyde group. Now CHOH, C and C, that is CH2OH. Okay, now just fill the column, that is HOH. Okay, now third will be OHH, fourth will be HOH, fifth will be HOH. So this is the, and sixth will be, that is CH2OH. So this is the basically basic structure of D-glucose. Now it consists of more than 4 carbon, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 carbon. Okay, so it can easily form the ring cyclic structure. Okay, so cyclic structure, how the cyclic structure of glucose form? Like this, simple, just simple structure, nothing to worry about. All this type of structure, very simple structure, HOH, HOH, OHH, HOH and CH2OH. So this is a cyclic structure of, this is a cyclic structure of glucose. So this is a structure, these are the two structures of glucose molecule. These are the two structures of glucose molecule. Now I hope that you got a clear idea about the monosaccharide molecule. Now there is one question. So which structure of the monosaccharide can't form the ring structure, can't form the ring structure? So the answer will be glyceraldehyde, because the structure of glyceraldehyde, if you see the structure of glyceraldehyde, then you will find that glyceraldehyde consists of 3 carbon. Okay, glyceraldehyde consists of 3 carbon, that is CHO. First of all, it is aldehyde. So okay, second is CHOH, and third is CH2OH. Okay, CH2OH. So this is the structure of glyceraldehyde. Okay, this is a structure of CHOH, and the third one is CH2OH. So this is the structure of glyceraldehyde, and glyceraldehyde is the simplest monosaccharide. Glyceraldehyde is the simplest monosaccharide, that is consists of 1 carbon, 2 carbon and 3 carbon. So from this you can conclude that glyceraldehyde can't form the cyclic structure. As we already mentioned, that for the formation of cyclic structure more than 4 carbon is required, which is mainly present on glucose, fructose, etc. So glyceraldehyde is the simplest, simplest aldose monosaccharide. Okay, why it is known as simplest aldose monosaccharide? Because in case of glyceraldehyde, aldehyde group is present, that's why it is known as aldose, that is monosaccharide with an aldehyde group, and it is the simplest monosaccharide. Now I ask you a question. If you know, then please comment me on the comment box, and also I will teach this thing in the upcoming lectures of carbohydrate. That can you name one monosaccharide that contain the keto group, and it is the simplest monosaccharide, that is consist of only 3 carbon? If you know, then please comment me on the comment box. Now let's move to the lecture. So basically in the previous lecture we basically discussed about the monosaccharide. I hope that you get a clear idea about the monosaccharide. Now let's move to the disaccharide and oligosaccharide. See, what is disaccharide? Disaccharide means consists of 2 sugar molecule. For example, glucose and fructose. So this is a disaccharide, and it gives rise to what? It gives rise to sucrose. Okay, it gives rise to sucrose. So basically this is a disaccharide. Okay, I will teach this disaccharide molecule in details in my upcoming lectures of carbohydrate. Just here you just see the, or you just take the concept. Okay, I will teach you all these disaccharide in my upcoming lectures. Okay, so basically in disaccharide means made up of 2 sugar molecule, that is glucose or fructose, which give rise to sucrose. Okay, I will which give rise to sucrose with the release of molecule of water, one molecule of water. Okay, I will explain all this structure in my upcoming lectures. Okay, I will explain all this structure, okay, in the upcoming lectures. So just in this lecture you just see the concept, that is sucrose is made up of 2 sugar molecule, glucose and fructose, by the release of H2O, that is water. Okay, so this is disaccharide. Okay, now oligosaccharide. So what is oligosaccharide? Oligosaccharide, as I already mentioned you, that oligosaccharide basically consists of what? Oligosaccharide consists of more than 2 sugar molecule, that is 2 to 10, then it will be oligosaccharide. Can you give me an example of oligosaccharide? If you know the example of oligosaccharide, please comment me on the comment box. I will teach all these things in my upcoming lectures. Okay, so let's move to the PPT. So basically these are the oligosaccharide. Okay, these are the oligosaccharide. So consist of short chains of monosaccharide units residue joined by a glycosidic bond. Yes, glycosidic bond. I show you all these things in my future lectures. Okay, the most abundant disaccharide with two monosaccharide unit is sucrose, as I already mentioned you, which is made up of glucose and fructose. Clear? Next. So basically till now we have studied that all monosaccharide and disaccharide have names ending with O's, that is OSE. For example, glucose, fructose is a monosaccharide, disaccharide, sucrose, maltose, lactose, that is all these are end with OSC. Okay, so this is one thing. Okay, I explain all this structure in my upcoming videos of the carbohydrate molecule. So please be remain with all this lecture, then you will get clear idea about all these things. Okay, now in most oligosaccharide which consist of 3 or more unit, they are basically joined with one non-sugar molecule, and it may be either lipid or protein, and that is known as glycoconjugate. I will teach you glycoconjugate in my upcoming lectures. Just you take the concept here. Okay, so I hope that you get a clear idea till now. If you have still any question, then please comment me on the comment box. Next, polysaccharide. So what is polysaccharide? Polysaccharide basically polymer. Poly means what? Poly means many. Poly means many. Okay, polysaccharide. What is polysaccharide? Poly means many and saccharide means what? Saccharide means sugar. That is a compound which is formed from many sugar. Okay, many and sugar. So the compound which basically formed from many sugar unit. Okay, it may be homopolysaccharide, it may be heteropolysaccharide. Okay, so these are basically polysaccharide. So this is a basic concept of polysaccharide. For example, cellulose. Okay, so this is an example of polysaccharide. Okay, this is an example of polysaccharide. So I will teach you all these things in details in my upcoming lectures. Just here you just take the concept. Okay, so basically some polysaccharides such as cellulose, it has linear chain, while some polysaccharides such as glycogen, these are basically branched chain. These are basically branch chain. So basically cellulose and glycogen both consist of D-glucose, but cellulose is linear chain and glycogen is branch chain. Okay, I will explain all these things in my upcoming lectures. Okay, here just you take the concept of all these things, that what is monosaccharide, what is oligosaccharide, what is disaccharide, what is polysaccharides, all this. Okay, I will explain all these in details in my upcoming lectures of carbohydrate molecule. Next, so let's look about one detail about the monosaccharide. Okay, see, monosaccharide basically consists of either aldehyde or either ketone, as I already mentioned. Okay, and it may either aldehyde or either ketone. Okay, and the 6 carbon monosaccharide, either glucose or fructose, have 5 hydroxyl group. Okay, now many of the carbon atom that is attached to that hydroxyl group are basically chiral center, which give rise to many sugar stereoisomerism in nature, which basically found in nature. Okay, so basically if you look at the structure of monosaccharide, as I already explained the structure. Okay, if you look at the structure of monosaccharide, okay, COH, H, that is COH, H, that is CHOH, and 4 5 CH OH and CH2OH. So basically if you calculate 1 hydroxyl group, 2 hydroxyl group, 3 hydroxyl group, 4 hydroxyl group, 5 hydroxyl group, so there are 5 hydroxyl group present. Okay, so there are 5 hydroxyl group is present in this structure of D-glucose. Okay, so and remember one thing, all these hydroxyl group, if you see the carbon, these are basically what? These are basically chiral center. These are basically so chirality. What is this chiral? What is asymmetric carbon? What is optical activity? I will explain you all these things later. Okay, so basically this shows chiral. Can you give me example which is basically non-chiral in nature? A monosaccharide which is basically non-chiral in nature. If you know the example, then comment me on the comment box. Okay, so basically because of these chiral centers, as I shown you in the figure, it gives rise to many sugar stereoisomers, which basically found in nature. Okay, and this stereoisomerism, the process is known as stereoisomerism, is biologically significant because the enzyme that act on sugar is strictly stereospecific. Okay, so this is the basic concept. Now look at this figure. See, this is the structure of D-glucose. This is the structure of dihydroxyacetone. What can you find in this structure? This consists of aldehyde group, this consists of keto group, and this is the simplest monosaccharide. Both of these are simplest monosaccharide. Okay, it is also known as consists of 3 carbon, that is triose, and consists of aldehyde group, so it is known as aldotriose. And it is consist of 3 carbon, that is triose, and consist of keto group, so it is known as ketotriose. So basically, just now look at the structure clearly. Okay, then you got the idea. Okay, then you got a clear idea. See, I just provide you the example that I asked you the question in previously. Okay, I hope that you get it. Okay, so basically consist of 3 carbon, 1 2 3, so means what? Triose, and consist of aldehyde group, means what? Aldotriose. It is also known as aldotriose or glycerol aldehyde. See, keto group consists of 3 carbon, 1 2 3, means what? Ketotriose, as consists of 3 carbon. Okay, consists of 3 carbon with keto group. It is also known as dihydroxyacetone. And remember one point, I asked you a question that can you tell me that a compound which is basically monosaccharide and which does not show chirality, I hope that you get the answer. First comment me on the comment box. Okay, and this is a simple structure of D-glucose and D-fructose. Okay, as I shown you in the figure. Okay, so that's all for today's lecture. I hope that you get this lecture. In upcoming lectures of carbohydrates, I explain about more about all these things in details about monosaccharide, oligosaccharide, and polysaccharide. Okay, so please remain with Biosmart Academy. It provides you a clear concept about the each and every topic. Okay, and this is a very important series of lecture that I will basically going to made on, that is on biochemistry. Okay, and I also made a very important lecture, that is 22 lectures on cell bio, and 18 lectures are on immunology are there on my YouTube channel. So please go through the playlist page, you will find there. So hope you find very easy and you understand today's topic very well. So meet in my on my next lecture. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Thank you.